This is the truth between the beef with Katt Williams and Chris Rock. Now, everybody who went to the comedy thing talking about some man, he finna get Chris Rock, and Rock finna get it, and Katt Williams this, and he finna come, man, he got all guns blazing at Chris Rock. He been mad at Chris Rock for a long time. You know, and see, people don't understand this. Jealousy it's like it's a condition. Even if you have money, people be like, man, you got all this, and why are you jealous? You want the spot, especially if you've been to the top of the mountain and you didn't fell off that mountain. Or the people just like, well, they tired of it. It's too gimmicky. Now they want something else. And now they move to something else, and you upset that it ain't on you. You feel you gotta attack what they like in order for them to pay attention back to you again. And we've seen this type of behavior before. It's nothing new to anybody here. But going into it with Chris Rock, back when Rock had I Ain't Never Scared, they had all the new comedians. Mike Epps, he was the funniest man alive, and everybody was talking about all these new comedians coming up. Chris Rock put out an HBO special, I Ain't Never Scared, to come back and do another special. And he came back and crushed it on HBO. Then Katt Williams is on tour doing his shows, and the Pimp Chronicles is what blew him up, but he was doing low-key events in Cali and LA. He saw Chris Rock, gave these guys, it was Earthquake, I can't think of the guy's name, I think his name is Dion Cole, a couple of other comedians was there. And Katt was very gracious, got up there, I mean, drunk some Henny straight out of the bottle, killed it, right off the dome, went in there and just straight comedy, off the top of their head, bang. Chris Rock and them, you know, they saw the act and was like, you know, he's strong. You know, like, dude's pretty good. You know, like, yeah, he's got talent. But when he made it up with Pimp Chronicles and it was Katt Williams and he's the hottest comedian in the world, he didn't stay there because he didn't grow. Meaning that he stayed with the like same format. He became the Andrew Dice Clay of comedy. You know, he became that same formality type of comedian. And so his thing is, I'm just finna diss everybody. But he wanted to be accepted by everybody. Katt Williams wasn't accepted in the Hollywood like he thought he was going to be. They looked at him as problematic. And so he wasn't fitting into the upper echelon circles to where the Eddie Murphys were, where Chris Rock was, and he felt a certain way about it. And especially when Top 5 was done, and Chris Rock called all the comedians, and no one called Kevin Hart. He felt a certain way about that. And you know, he was like, man, I did a movie with Eddie Murphy too. I was in Norbit. You know, and it was, he felt the way about Top 5. That's why everybody in there wasn't funny. You know, he's talking about them in a bad light. But now he's going after Chris Rock because why? He's just like any one of us. DJ Academics, myself, Vlad. We talk about current events or but things that happened in the past, hip hop. He talks about what's ever happening, occurring to that person. Chris Rock situations, he wanted, okay, we're going to put him out there. Tony Rock, really? Tony Rock, we going to talk about Tony Rock. Tony Rock, to me, ain't funny. Period. He's just not a strong comedian at all. He might be a good supporting comedian one day, but as far as why is Chris Rock and Tony Rock don't work together, maybe that's something Chris would know more than anybody else. Like, that's just saying, like, why Charlie and Eddie, but Charlie and Eddie do work together, but Charlie Murphy made his name basically on his own when working with Chappelle and stuff. That he got recognized for his comedic acting. People didn't realize he was in all Eddie Murphy movies. You know, like, man, that was him in that. Charlie Murphy was in that. Charlie Murphy was in CB4. He played Gusto. And people didn't even know that was Eddie's brother. It was, man, he looked like Eddie Murphy. So now Katt Williams is on the radio show like, oh well, Chicago, I'm coming to this show because I am an American icon. I don't have to go overseas. I can do the show here in the United States. I've never done a show outside of the United States. You know, it's like one of those people that's like, man, I love it in the hood. I ain't trying to leave the hood. It's because nobody's booking you overseas. They're not trying to book you overseas. You ain't selling out football stadiums. You in the UIC pavilion. That ain't the Airy Crown. You used to be in the Airy Crown. Now you in the pavilion. But it is what it is. They gonna keep you doing your shows in the hood. And you cool with that, and that's cool too. If they want to keep you doing those shows and you happy, brother, be happy. But as far as comedy, you gonna retire Chris Rock from stand-up? Chris Rock, one, don't have to ever do a stand-up ever again in life. Two, no stand-up you've ever done, Katt Williams, Pimp Chronicles, can touch any of Chris Rock's stand-up. Period. It just ain't. He can't top it. Big ass jokes, none of them. Because Chris Rock has range. The things he talk about are relatable to not just people in the hood, but to everybody. You don't have that type of comedy. You relate exclusively to the hood, folks. And that's why they all come on here and support you. Man, that boy Katt, wow. He real. Everybody else done sold out to the Illuminati. Why? Because that's what everybody in the hood say. It keeps people from trying to do stuff. Now, like I told you, Katt Williams is not stupid. He's smart. He's a smart person that makes dumb decisions. So it's like saying you're too smart to be doing dumb things. And it's like, why is he doing this? It's all plotted. Like, I keep trying to tell people, like, if something's not going right or he needs material, he'll create the material. He will go out and create the human drama he needs to report. And then people will eat it up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Katt Williams. He's been doing this since the beginning of time. You know, he had Pimp Chronicles, then he came out with It's Pimpin', Pimpin', Pimpin'. comedy show, and he came out with the rap album with Dipset, you know, and that was ridiculous. You know, I got the album for free somewhere. I was trying to give it away to people. No one wants to hear Katt Williams rap. But hey, to each his own. Not hating on Katt, just pointing out facts. You can't hate people for being successful. Kevin Hart's gonna make history for a comedian. No comedian, black or white, is getting ready to do what Kevin Hart's gonna do. 156 cities. World tour. Selling out football stadiums. Because he ain't funny. Comedy is different. Some people like different brands of comedy. Kevin Hart's style is more silly, physical comedy. Where yours was sort of physical comedy at first. And Katt's funny, but it's just not relatable to everybody. The pimp thing is played out. We've seen it. We've seen the Money Mike thing. Now you gotta do something else. That's like Mike Epps still trying to be Day-Day. You know, it's time to upgrade your comedy. Step it up to another level. But you've never done that. And that's why you remain where you are. And you said before that Bernie Mac was the king of comedy. And I agree with you on that. He's one of the kings of comedy because he came up under Red Fox and a lot of other comedians that was in the game before him. But Red Fox was one of the comedians that he loved to the death. Like, Red Fox was the one that really got to him. And he went out to a show to go visit to see Red Fox perform. Out in like Vegas, he was doing one of his shows just to hear Red Fox. Because Red was so raw. But people didn't really see or hear the real Red Fox in action because they only remember him from Sanford and Son. But if you saw his stand-up, it was vicious. Red Fox was something else. But one of the truest comics and realest comics out there, who was before Kevin Hart, before Katt Williams, who got a chance to work with Katt Williams when they both played pimps, and the Norbit movie was Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin, to me, is one of the funniest comedians ever to do it naturally. So to not mention Eddie Griffin, that's another form of disrespect when you worked with Eddie.
What's your beef with Chris Rock?
He's the king of coons, number one. He doesn't like black women, number two. He has the hands of an orangutan, number three. He wouldn't put his own brother on who has his same name, number five.
That was four. That was four.
And what he did to the little African baby that he pretended he was raising, number six. I got plenty of reasons.
I always saw Chris Rock was one of the persons that stood up for black people in his game.
I'm not interested in what people think. I'm interested in telling the truth.
Well, Katt, you gonna talk about this on stage?
Is that your truth or truth, period?
Sir, there are not separate truths.
I believe they are.
Well, then you just proved your own point incorrect then.
No, I didn't, because what you
all
believe
facts
is true.
All facts are facts for everyone, sir. Gravity is not something that's left open for decision or somebody's opinion.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, Katt Williams, now, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you.
Hold on. What'd you say, sir?
That could be debated.
By whom?
Well, whoever you
My
talking to.
IQ was 146. Get your debate on.
Oh, okay, that's great. But like I said,
I know it's great, so get your debate on.
Your
Debate
truth is not necessarily somebody else's truth.
Sir, we all live in the same world. We're all part of the same race, the human race. How could there be differentials?
There's differences in everything, Katt.
Explain what they are then.
You make more money than some other people. That's the
What
difference.
does that have to do with the
They're
truth,
black,
sir?
they're
Truth
white.
don't
There's
care
truth.
about
There's
money.
truth.
See, that's the problem.
What's the problem, brother?
Is people think that the truth got other parameters on it and it has something to do with this or that. No, just tell the truth and it'll set your black ass free.
Okay.
Okay.
You just asked me,
Right.
was that the next target? And I said yes.
And gave 6 points.
And then you asked why, and I gave you 6 small points
Right.
to let you know that I'm not firing blindly in the air.
Right.
I could have done him already. I just chose not to. I chose to do Kevin instead of him.
And that wasn't true? That's why you apologized?
It wouldn't have killed the snake.
So when you say that he's your next target, though, what does that mean? Like you have
It
him?
means what it means. What do you, my next target, mean?
No. My question for you is, let me get to you. The question is, are you going to be
It means
having
you can't do
stand-up?
stand-up no more, like it meant with Steve Harvey.
He can't.
So Chris Rock will be retiring from stand-up like Steve Harvey did, never to return again.
Right.
Wow. So
I believe that happened in a city named
Detroit.
Detroit?
Yeah. That happened in Detroit?
Yeah. And so I'm going dead Chris Rock the week after Chicago at the Barclays, and he's done.
In his hometown.
Yes, I don't do random shots. I'm not going to do a drive-by on your grandmama's house. Your grandmama's a nice woman. She probably playing everything. I'm coming to you.